Hi, welcome back to our second week of Children's Church. Remember, we're talking about Moses, and we want to talk about last week. Moses was a baby, and we said we were going to talk about how he was going to grow up. Well, he was in Egypt when he was born, and he was saved by the Pharaoh's daughter because God held him and kept him safe for things that he was going to do in the future. We all have futures, so we want to make sure that God keeps us safe so that we know what we're going to do when we get older. Remember, he's always with us and keeps us safe. So this week our story starts out where Moses has left Egypt and he is now tending sheep, but God has something in store for him. So let's find out how he finds out what God wants him to do. This week our story is going to be called The Burning Bush. Moses was watching his sheep in the hot, dry desert. Suddenly he saw a very strange sight. Flames of fire came from a bush, but the bush did not burn up. Moses squinted his eyes. He looked around the bush one way, and he looked around the bush the other way. "Moses, Moses," said a loud voice, and Moses was scared. "Here I am," he said. "Take off your shoes," the voice thundered. "The place where you are standing is holy ground." Moses kicked off his sandals, keeping his eyes on the flaming bush. "I am the God of your fathers," the voice said to Moses. And Moses hid his face. He was afraid to look at God. Ooh. "I have heard my people crying in Egypt," God said. "My people are hurting, and I have come to save them." Wow, thought Moses, how's God going to do this? "Go," said God. "I am sending you to Pharaoh to ask him to let my people go." "Me," said Moses. "Who am I to go to Pharaoh? How can I lead your people?" He threw himself down on the ground before God. He kept his one eye on the burning bush. "I will be with you," said God. Moses trusted God. He was willing to do everything God said. God gave Moses the words and the power he needed to talk to Pharaoh and lead the people out of Egypt. So while Moses had left Egypt, the people, which the Hebrews that we talked about last week, were still being held slaves in Egypt because Pharaoh was afraid of them. So in your packet this week, there's two parts of our story. The part that when Moses goes back to Egypt and he's going to try to free the people. Next week we're going to find out how he frees the people and how they get out of Egypt. This week in your package that you got, you're going to find that you've got some coloring pages here and a word search. You're going to find that you have this little piece of paper here that talks about the burning bush. And it's going to have some of the stories about the things that God did to make Pharaoh change his mind. And then you're going to have your craft. And this week it's going to look funny to you. It's going to be a clear cup. Then you're going to have some greenery, because that's your bush. And then you're going to have some little yellow and some little red pieces of paper because your bush is on fire. But it really didn't go away, remember, because it's God's bush, and he was trying to tell Moses to go. That's our word for the week, is go. So here's your little lamp, and then you'll see that you have a burning bush to remind you that God's going to tell you where to go in your life when you get older. So there you go. Turn your bush on at night when you go to sleep. Have a nice week. Bye.